Arctic Monkeys with their latest back in 2013. They are due for another, and I haven't actually checked, but I mean, they should be in the works for some more stuff right there. I'll have to get back to you next week on that, honestly. In the meantime, though, I found a bit of a life hack, actually, and I thought it's fun to share these kind of stories with you, at least, you know? See if it might be able to help you in the slightest. That has to do with the fact that I've got a new recipe here, and, maybe we'll turn this into a fun fact corner later on, that sort of thing. Or, hey, there's still that idea of a cooking show at some points. Need that to get off the ground at some point. And it'd be great. It'd be great to do that possibly after graduation, because I'm going to have a lot of time to do some extra stuff. And that might even be a whole topic for next show, honestly, is just talking about all the stuff that I miss doing that I'll get to start doing again. But in the meantime, I would like to share this recipe with you at least. And it's, I guess officially called Cheli's Chili, if you're familiar with that at all. Alright, I imagine not everyone's a hockey fan out there, so let me explain this one to you just a little bit so that you understand. Cheli's Chili is based off the player for Detroit Red Wings, as well as he played for the Atlanta... I forget what Atlanta's team is, actually. It's been a while since I followed hockey, but he also played for the Blackhawks. And he opened a little restaurant called Cheli's Chili, and it had some of the best chili that I've had in a while, and it also was... I don't know, it was just the memories of hockey, and they sold it in the stadiums, too, so it was one of those things. And always missed it, and since I don't eat mammals, it becomes a bit difficult to get, like, decent chili. Although vegan chili is usually pretty good if they offer it, because no one's going to half-ass that unless... Yeah, you wouldn't go the extra mile to make vegan chili unless you knew how to make it, basically. That's how it works. So vegetarian chili is actually usually pretty good. That being said, though, you can't usually find meat chili that's, not beef. And so, found some ground turkey, which doesn't work nearly as well. I think ground chicken would have been a better option, but I even memorized this recipe in the one time that I made it. So, if you got a pen and paper, write this down, check it out, that sort of thing. Or, honestly, research Cheli's Chili recipe. It's probably going to be the first result that you get right there, but get this, alright? So, serves about 12 people right there. You got 3 pounds of meat, you got 3 pounds of tomatoes. You got 2 cans... like 15-ounce cans of kidney beans. You got 2 cans of chili beans. Now, I added a 3rd can of chili beans. I wanted to make sure I had some variety of the beans as well. I mean, it gets a bit bland if you have the same damn beans, so I had some white beans in there as well. Alright, so then you gotta season it with some chili powder and some pepper flakes. Half a cup of chili powder for this big vat, but trust me, it'll last for a while at least. As well as getting 2 cans of tomato sauce and 1 can of tomato soup. Now, it was a bitch trying to find a can of tomato soup that didn't have high fructose corn syrup, and yeah, that might sound pretentious, but frankly, I don't want to be eating that shit, especially when it's not even supposed to be in tomato soup to begin with. That's my own prerogative right there. You like all that processed stuff, that's your own problem. Well, it's not a problem now, but it will be later when you're all like, from, having all those processed foods. You don't believe me? I mean, honestly, it's just disgusting. Perfect example right there. You know what? I'm not going to share that story. Terry's giving me that look. I will save your embarrassment, Terry. Yes, you know what? That's your birthday present, and your graduation present, and past 2 Christmases. Does that work? It's a kind gesture, and I think that's the least that it should count for, at least, He's just shaking his head. So, the process that this goes through is that you cook the meat, you get it browned up pretty good, then you throw in the onions and the garlic. Oh yeah, you gotta use a pretty good amount of garlic and onions, 2 cups of onions. Let's see. Once you got that a little bit softer, you throw in the diced tomatoes. You let that simmer for about 15, and that's when you throw in the sauces. I'm sorry. You let that simmer for 30, and then you throw in the sauces, and you let that simmer for or light boil for 15 minutes. Then you got some halfway decent chili right there. Now, of course, there are spices and stuff that they throw in at the restaurant that you obviously can't replicate, but if you really try to do a taste comparison, I have faith in the fact that you might be able to figure that one out. You're a smart cookie. But not needless to say, you get some pretty good chili right there, and I figure in a couple more tries, I'm going to perfect it, get that right spice level going on right there. Some people may argue, but I didn't think it was spicy enough, and that's just me. And usually if it's not spicy enough for me, it's probably fine for everyone else, but I don't know, I'm one of those people that like spicy. So if you're not in Chicago or Detroit and you really want some Cheli's chili, you can make it on your own, and it turns out pretty well. And frankly, it's what I've been eating all week. It's a good staple right there. Us college students out there, you make a big vat of something and you can last yourself all the rest of the week. Really cuts down on time that you can be spending on weird-ass projects that your instructors have assigned, and you're not really sure why you have to do this, and it feels more like busy work. And instead of pulling your hair out over a hot stove, you're pulling your hair out while sitting down and eating a bowl of chili. Sound good? Awesome. Gonna kick it over to one last song, and that'll probably be our time. So without further ado, here's Fire.